Welcome to Local SEO in 10. This is your go-to podcast for answers about how you can grow your local business online easily and quickly. Brought to you by local SEO experts Magnified Media in Walnut Creek, California. In each 10-minute episode, our digital marketing expert Adam Duran answers your questions on how you can get more leads for your business fast. Remember, if you're not taking care of this part of your business right now, you can bet your competitors are. And now, here's our host with the questions, Jamie Duran, and our expert with the answers, Adam Duran.
Hello, Adam.
Hey, Jamie.
All right. I am very excited about this week's topic.
I know. This one's a good one, I think. It's a question I am literally, and using the word literally correctly, literally asked in every client meeting before they sign with us. So every client asks this question. And I'm afraid to ask you what you think it might be. But okay, go ahead, Jamie. What do you think that question might be?
Is this the best pricing?
Yes, this is the best pricing.
Where did that come? Who, why, how did that work? And does it work on anyone? That's what I'd like to know. You can walk into Walmart.
Cash price.
Is this the best you can do?
Okay. Yes.
You go to the cashier. Is this the best you can do? I don't.
Tell me honestly. All right. No, this question is, how long does this SEO stuff take for my local business? How long question. Until I can expect results? So, of course, just like in everything in life, every situation is different. But today I'll give you some broad strokes so that way you know what to expect when you ask this question. And here's the factors. There are four main factors that we'll go through today that affect this. All right. Now, factor number one, probably if you're just considering doing SEO, growing your business ranking and visibility organically, you actually have to do something. You can't just be considering or developing a strategy or thinking about hiring an agency or thinking about it. That's a step in the right direction, but the clock doesn't start ticking until the changes start being made. So a lot of times the biggest factor is you, right? If you're going to wait to do this, then it's going to take longer. Obviously, there's very few ways to speed this up. There are some, and I'll mention them, of course. But the longer you wait, the longer it takes. Just like a lot of other things in life, I think. That's just the way it is. So make sure that you understand that the clock starts ticking when actually the work starts happening and the changes start being made. Okay?
Okay. Yep.
All right. Easy one. All right. Next one. Another factor, a giant factor, is your website. Now, if it's a new website, a brand new website, understand that a lot of times Google what a lot of SEOs feel is when you start a new website, Google will put that website kind of in a sandbox. It'll index it. It'll kind of look at it. If there's no new content, it'll just kind of leave it there. Even if you're adding new content, a lot of times it will take time for that Google search engine to actually scan and index all of those pages and start bringing more and more people to your site. So understand, if you're a brand new business with a brand new website, it could take a little time. But understand that we've seen this take 3 weeks, and we've also seen it take 6 months. How do we know which one? We don't. So that's what it takes. It could be fast, it could be slow, but especially if you have a new business with a new website, you have no authority online, right? So it's not, you don't just get to jump ahead to the first position in line. It takes time to get there, and that the age of your website is a big ranking factor. So understand that, okay?
Definitely, yeah. I would also imagine it's the amount of people who you're in space with, right? So if you're highly competitive area, versus I make buggy whips,
right? Yes, exactly. So that is another factor. I'll get to that in a couple seconds, but a couple minutes. But the other part about your website, it depends on how many technical problems already exist. So you might think, my website looks pretty good. Understand that your website doesn't have to just look good for humans. It has to look good for that search engine. So always understand that there are two audiences that your designer needs to be designing for. One is you, the human, the one who's paying that agency, that designer, and the other audience is Google. And they're both extremely important, obviously, but it's countless the amount of times I've had to take over a website that the designer only designed for humans. I would say 99 out of 100, because the designers don't really care about Google because Google's not paying them. You're the actual company that the client is paying them. And so they want to make that client happy. Google, that secondary part is it's one of the last things they actually do, even though they say they do it, which is frustrating, obviously.
Definitely. Yeah.
So
I agree.
Also, if your site had any past problems with Google, like you went to Fiverr and bought 10,000 links, and your site got kind of blacklisted, that happens. So your site is one of the most important factors for how long this is going to take. So if you haven't had those problems and your site has been around for a long time and the technical issues are not so many, then we're talking 3 weeks to 3 months, man. It's actually really fast. But any agency is not going to be able to tell you that right off the bat. They're going to ask you a bunch of questions if they're during that initial phase. Hey, have you ever gotten a warning letter from Google? Or, hey, have you ever hired somebody from Fiverr? Have you had an agency? We're looking at your backlink profile and we're seeing this massive spike in 2017, and then it just fell off a cliff. You went from 5 backlinks to 10,000 over a period of a month. So that kind of stuff we can tell, but during the initial interview, these are the questions that the agency should be asking you. And they should, once they ask those questions, they should be giving you a better time frame where you can expect how long this is going to take. Okay?
Yeah, that would make sense.
All right. Other stuff is off of your website. Do you think about a big brand that most likely that big brand has a Facebook page, an Instagram page, a Threads page, maybe. They have a YouTube channel. All of these other properties are things that Google expects an authoritative brand to have. So do you have those for your business, or do they need to be now created? And if they need to be created, that needs to be happening sooner rather than later, because you want to act like a big brand. An authoritative big brand has all of these things. Make sense?
Sure. Yeah.
All right. Questions so far?
How important is not Twitter anymore, X brand?
Yeah, sure. You should have that too. It's one of the things, any place where it's basically a directory listing where you can have your website link put there. If you have multiple locations though, one thing you should also know is that you should have a Yelp page for each one of those locations, not just your main brand. Think of yourself as a brand with many, many locations. If you have a few locations, even make sure that each of those locations has its own Yelp page or Nextdoor page, these kind of things. All right.
Yep. So how many X's should you be sending a week?
What do you mean X's?
It used to be tweets. Now it's X.
I don't know. Actually, Jamie, it doesn't really matter. You think about those properties as, if a potential customer goes there, how often are they expecting you to post, to Facebook or whatever? Just understand that you're not going to be, for most local businesses, you're not going to be driving a lot of new business to you through those channels. Through Twitter, no, not really. Obviously, this depends. If you're a skincare clinic, then Instagram could be a really big driver. Facebook could be a big driver. But if you're a general contractor, if you're a personal injury attorney, these are not going to be no way are they going to be client drivers for you. That being said, they will help your ranking, which is all about the SEO part of this. Okay, so having those helps solidify your reputation with Google as an authoritative brand, and that helps your visibility. Okay.
Definitely. Yep.
All right. The last one, definitely, Jamie did mention your competition. Now, like Jamie also said, if you're selling buggy whips, good for you. But if you're in an industry where you have competition, like pretty much every business I know, then you should take a few minutes to look at the competition in your category. So you can, if you're if you're a personal injury attorney in whatever city, you just type in personal injury attorney in city name, see what happens, see what comes up of your competitors, and then look at how many reviews they have, check their website. Are they doing everything very well? Then yeah, that means you have to as well. If you want to beat them, if you want to outrank them, then yeah, plan on you having to invest money into this part of your business. It will come back in spades, by the way, because countless studies have shown that the better qualified leads do come from organic ranking. So as opposed to ads or any other pretty much channel, organic is always the best in terms of qualified leads. So make sure that you do check out your competition, check to see if they have all these properties. And if they don't, those are the ones, if they don't have a LinkedIn company page, but you do, that's another little drop in that SEO organic ranking bucket. So good.
Nice.
Good. All right. So all of this being said, there were how long does this SEO stuff take? It could take 3 months. In my experience, we've done it as fast as 3 weeks, and probably the worst was probably about 7 months. But other SEOs say a year or 2 years. So, go with what that's. So what I always tell our clients is it's going to take 3 weeks to 6 months. And unless we have these problems that I discussed earlier, and then we avoid those. So,
but it sounds like a lot, or at least a third of it, is how ready is their existing website for SEO?
That the website's very important, but also these other factors are also important, man, because they can really make it hard or easy. So
that's why I said 1/3, not 90. Okay.
1/4. But the one thing that probably you don't know is that, if they were blacklisted at some point in the past, whatever, even 10 years, then a lot of times what I'm going to recommend is, okay, sorry, we're going to have to start a new website, a new URL for you. And can be devastating, right? Because they hired an agency, they trusted somebody before, but I can show them, this is why. We can try, but I'm not going to be standing behind those results then. So we can decide what you want to do. It's pretty easy to do, but if somebody did some black hat stuff and Google found out about it, your site, that URL is gone. It's done.
Got it.
Unfortunately. Yeah. Anyway, thank you very much. That's all I got for today.
All right. Well, thank you, everyone, for taking a few minutes out of your day to learn a little bit more about search engine optimization and how it affects your business, and what Adam runs into almost on a daily basis, probably every day, actually. Yep. And so what's the first thing? Okay. Anyway, if you do have a question about this podcast or any other podcast, go to our webpage, magnifiedmedia.net, click on the podcast button. Probably not for too much longer. And stay tuned for that cliffhanger.
We'll be fine.
And you can, in the search bar, you can click whatever topic. You can put in anything search engine optimization related, and chances are there's at least 2 or 3 podcasts. And if not, or if so, if you still have further questions, go to our LinkedIn or Facebook page, click on the send us a message and send us a message about that question, and we'll try to address it either through that messenger or on the podcast. And then make sure to give us 5 stars wherever you're listening to it. We really appreciate it. And lastly, share this podcast out with any other business owner or business group that you might be affiliated with, because chances are those business owners too are investing a lot of money in their websites and search engine optimization, and may not be getting out of it what they could be getting out of it. So with that, we will talk to you next week, and thanks very much.
That's all for now. Thanks for listening to this episode of Local SEO in 10. with Google local marketing expert Adam Duran. Join us each week for answers to your questions on how to best harness the power of the internet to grow your business. Speaking of questions, got some? Message us through our Facebook page, Local SEO in 10, and we'll be sure to give you your answer on an upcoming episode. This episode of Local SEO in 10 is brought to you by Magnified Media, the leading online marketing agency in Northern California, who invite you to grow your business by magnifying your online visibility and credibility. Visit them on the web at www.magnifiedmedia.com. Magnify your business, magnify your profits.